Okay, and welcome back. This is going to be the beginning of part two. If you missed, go ahead and go back to part one here. What the heck is a Stream Deck? But now we're going to show you how to get right into setting up Ecamm Live with the Stream Deck to take you from this right here, from the welcome screen, to something like what I've got so far, which you'll see here. Okay, lots of different icons, folders, different things. We're going to go into a lot of this. It's going to be pretty in-depth. This is kind of a quick up and running. So here, let's jump into it. So step one, you're going to want to go ahead and download the Stream Deck plugin. So you're going to say Stream Deck software, Stream Deck download. Okay. So Stream Deck download. Go to the first result. You could go to here. You could go to downloads. You're going to get to a page like this. Go to downloads. Okay. And what you're going to do, you're going to need Stream Deck for Mac. Okay. Especially if you're using this for Ecamm Live, which only works on a Mac. Probably get it for I don't know if you can use it on a PC or not. If you do happen to be on Windows, you just have to click on the Windows section here. So Stream Deck for Windows, it's right there. That's pretty cool if it auto detected I was on a Mac. But yeah, Windows is right there. But you're going to want to download this for the Mac if you're on Ecamm Live. Okay, so what you're going to do is just click download right here, and you're going to download the Stream Deck package to wherever you download stuff to. Okay, and then you're going to open it up, and you should be at a window that when you open it up, you should get something that looks like this here, and you will be sitting here like this at a welcome screen. Okay, so let's just start off with websites. Okay, so we want to map a certain key to a certain website. So let's say I want to do it to my YouTube channel. Thank you for being a loyal subscriber. Comment down below if you're new here. I'd love to know who's watching. So you're going to go grab a link. Okay, grab a link from the internet, anywhere you want to go. And then you're going to go here on the right. There's different options here. So website, you have website, hotkey, switch, hotkey. Okay, so website, I'm just going to take that and drag it over. Okay. And there's only two things. It has a title, so I could say it's my YouTube. You can put your titles below, right here. You can put it in the middle. You can put it above. Just depending on what icon you have, you might pick. But below seems to be a pretty good one by default. Okay. So as far as a URL, then you're just going to paste that YouTube URL right here. Hit enter, and that should be good. So if I was to click on that. If I was to click on that in the actual Stream Deck here, multi-action. So I'm going to go ahead and close this down, close that down, close that down. I'm actually going to be pushing on the button right now, and there it goes. Okay, so that is website actions. Okay, so that's just just a sampling of what you can do with it. So now here's the thing. Hopefully you, like me, initially maybe you wanted this to get for Ecamm Live, right? Because that's a huge use case to switch between camera A, camera B, screen share, an overlay, a video testimonial, an MP4. So the thing is, you might be tempted to just say, wow, I've got 32 options for Ecamm Live. I'm going to put this one here, put that one there, put that one, and I'm going to use all this. This is like what calling the front page, okay? But you have to be aware when you're setting this up to out the gate, you have to be aware of this idea of folders, creating a folder. And so instead of just putting everything on the front page, I want you to think about it maybe in a different way, which is instead of having just direct things here, I'm going to make this kind of my home page, a home page of folders. Okay, so let's now call this my Ecamm folder. So now I have my Ecamm folder. Instead of having all kinds of Ecamm actions out here, I'm actually going to go into my Ecamm folder, and now this is where I'm going to keep all of my different things. So then I'll have a different folder for Macs. For exactly, Slack is a good one. So I'm going to create a folder for Slack. Okay, and now you could still have a few of your favorite direct links. You have a lot of real estate here, But I want you to think, I think this is the best way of thinking about it is, let's think about this in terms of folders. Let's do Outlook as well. So now, and what's really cool, you have to know this right away too, is that you thought you had a 32 key Stream Deck. In reality, it's almost infinite, okay? So that means that what I mean by that is you can have nested folders. You got to know that right away too. So I go into Ecamm now, I'm in my Ecamm folder. I have 32 keys. Well, what if I wanted 64 keys, right? So let's go ahead and do another folder here. So now I could call this, I can call, where did that go? So I'm in my Ecamm. There I'm at the top. I'm going to go down a folder, go into Ecamm, and now in there, we'll call this Ecamm 2. Okay. And if I want to go in, let's say I want even more keys, you have to do, so there's 32 minus the return key, minus the folder key. So I'm getting 30 new actions. I can go down here deeper another time, and now I'm on the next folder level. If I want to do another folder, so you get the idea. So now this is Ecamm level 3. Okay, so if I want to go up a level, now I'm at the Ecamm 2. Now I'm at and now I'm at the main one. So I go into Ecamm, Ecamm 2, Ecamm 3, etc., etc. I think you'll probably be fine with just a folder, maybe 2. But the good news is that no matter what you can come up with, the flexibility, you know, all of the different apps, right? Every single app that you use, there's room for everything that you could ever want to do with hotkeys. You no longer have to remember hotkey commands or different things, different actions, because you're basically, this is basically a visual. It's a visual shortcut switcher. So to delete that, I'm just going to delete, right click and delete, and actually deleted everything below. So be careful of that. So if you'll delete everything below. Let's go back up a level. So let me show you just a little bit inside mine now, what you can do. So instead of, like I said, instead of putting things directly here, you're going to be, this home page will be kind of more for your folders. So let's go ahead and take a look over that. So now this is a folder. It's got a nice icon there. And so what I'm going to do is go into that folder. Now I've got a couple different things in here, okay? So if I go back out, I'm going to go into my Slack folder. So now I've got next unread message, previous unread message, mark as unread, different things like that, okay? So you can see I'm using folders here instead, but I'm also still using a few things like just a direct link, like that's like just right to my YouTube channel. Okay, go into Outlook. I'm going to switch to my email view, my calendar view, permanently delete a message, hit enter, mark as read, things like that, okay? So let's actually switch gears a little bit and try to set up a little bit more our Ecamm Live setup, okay? So if you actually open up Ecamm Live and you've got the Stream Deck installed, it should notice that. And what you're doing right now, see, it says, hey, you want to install the Stream Deck plugin to use Ecamm Live with Elgato Stream Deck, install the Ecamm Live plugin. And if you didn't get that message, you can also come up here and it should have a thing here that says install Stream Deck plugin. You see that right there? Same idea. So it's either here under the menu here, or it might pop up with a message saying, now what is this plugin? Well, the plugin is basically, you have like hotkeys and things like that, where you do control alt delete or control open, command open, that kind of thing. You can map hotkeys. We'll show you that. But there's also this idea of these other different things that work with Ecamm Live. Let's say you're using OBS Studio, okay? And so a plugin is essentially extra commands. It's like OBS Studio has some custom different things, mixer audio, scenes, record. Instead of relying on the hotkey, the two teams that Stream Deck and Ecamm Live have kind of partnered up and said, hey, we're going to make some cool buttons that kind of map to some of the native functionality. Okay, so if you go more actions here, you can see all these different kinds of different things you can do if you install the plugin. Right, it kind of just gives you some a direct connection to the app. And so here's the Ecamm Live plugin. You could install it. Okay, we're going to do that right now. I'm actually going to do it from this prompt right here. So I'm going to just go ahead, hit install now, and I'll hit install again. The custom action Ecamm Live contains some pre-configured profiles. You could do that. You could hit install profiles. Doesn't hurt anything. Let's do it. So there we go. So now, just like that, we've basically imported all the like an Ecamm Live, kind of like a just your basic default settings. So let's go through some of these. You've got run scene. So if I have my scene set up over here on the left, you'll see I can now. It's actually natively connected to go ahead and look here for. So there's side by side, screen share, picture in picture. I would want to clean these up, right, to make them very generic sounding, and not like have Justin, who was my last interview, kind of thing. Okay, so I can quickly go right to any scene. So I've got 4 or 5 different things. I'm running scenes. This shows me right here. This is my just an account. It's just a piece of data, so it doesn't do anything. It just shows you how many people are on. So that is the viewers. Okay. So basically, they took these here and they brought them out in somewhat of a basic configuration, kind of like that. Okay. I'm just going to delete that for now. So I haven't. Now, this is on the default profile. I haven't. I'm not actually using this right now for mine. I'm just right here. This is my own right here. And so if I wanted to kind of do it on my own, I could say, well, first of all, here's my my go live button. I've got that, and that switches to record only. Like so, if I'm going to put this to record only, then that button typically will change to record. Okay, so it was record. If I'm going to send it out to Facebook, then it says, "Oh, go live." So that's some of that native functionality that you get, because Ecamm and Stream Deck, because they wrote a custom plugin, okay, to do that, and also this fact that it can, actually look inside and see what scenes you have. Or imagine I want to play a video, so I'm going to drag this out as play a video here, and I can actually select a recent item, or I can go ahead and select an MP4 right off of my computer. Okay, so hopefully that's making sense, right? So you're going to download Stream Deck, you're going to download the Ecamm Live plugin, and now you can start playing with this. You could start from the Ecamm Live profile, right? But like I said, that's gonna put you right at the home page. Okay, and you probably, if you're going to use this for more than just one thing, you're probably going to want to come in here and make your first homepage a bunch of folders, and then within here start dragging out go live, pause. They don't have really good explanations exactly, like what does that do? What does run scene do? What does next scene do, right? So next scene, and then we have previous scene. So if you want like a little bit more of an explanation besides just playing around with it, just go to Stream Deck Ecamm Live right here, using Elgato Stream Deck with Ecamm Live, and it goes through this exact same thing essentially, and it goes through each one of these and kind of when they work. So pause, resume key, it's only for record only mode. So we'll kind of show you kind of what I'm showing you here by video. Okay. So that's a lot. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to start dragging these out. Now let's talk about again some of these. Let's talk about some of these different things that I've set up. So close. So here let's say I wanted to close Chrome, or I wanted to oh, this is so cool. You know that command reopen, like reopen a tab. So if I come here, let's say I just closed this and I forgot I wanted that. So I close that. There's a command that says, hey, reopen that last tab. I can never remember what it is. I wouldn't want to go looking here, reopen last tab, right? But I know there's such a thing. And now I've mapped that to this here. It's actually Shift Command T. So now if I actually just push that button, so I'm back over here, I push the button now, boom, it opens up the previously last tab, okay? So how would I actually set that up? What I would do is I would come over here, and this is kind of like system. So this is now outside of Ecamm Live. This is now we're talking about Chrome, and I have this hotkey right here. So hotkey is basically this ability to do keyboard shortcuts. Think of hotkeys as all of the different little key commands, right? All these little guys, all the little hotkey commands, shortcuts that you can now program to do different things. And so if I want to say, oh, that's going to be reopen, okay, then click to assign. It's going to start listening. Essentially, the computer's listening for me to start typing in the keystrokes. So you said it was Shift Command T, right? So then when I push that on my on my Chrome, it opens up the last previous thing. So that's a very, very common use case. We talked about websites, right? So that's just here's YouTube websites. I just put in a URL. I didn't even put a title because I had an icon. Let's show you how to do icons, okay? So we have this one here. Basically, you can just get your icons from your computer, okay? You can create icons. You can, let's see here. You can do that. Let's get into here. I just started collecting a little folder. I just call them Stream Deck icons. And so you basically would just, you could go out to the internet, or you can do this thing here. It's called Create New Icon. And this is kind of this little icon creator thing. If you're starting from nothing, you know, you have some basic ones. I use this sometimes if I'm looking for a certain thing, just for ideas. But what's cool is if you actually go in and like one of the other things is that you can actually just open up any one of these guys right here. Okay, so Premiere, that's a folder, right? Like it says right there. But when I actually want to open up Premiere, it's actually doing system open. So here's system and there's open. So think of it as not quite a hotkey, but really as you're going to kind of link to the app here somewhere on your computer. Okay. So if I was going to do this again, I would say, okay, I want to do system open right here and go like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and look for Premiere. So I'm going to go choose. Maybe it puts me on my desktop, but really a lot of these are going to be on applications like this. And I'm going to go ahead and pick, let's pick After Effects this time. So I'm actually picking the application itself. And what's cool about that is that a lot of times it will be able to pull in the actual, it'll be able to pull in the actual image from the app. I don't know why it didn't do it that time. Let's try another one. So if I pull that in, I go to choose. Let's do Adobe. Let's do Skype, for example. And see how at that time it was able to pull in some sort of, you know, the Skype icon that you would recognize from your dock here. Okay, so that's opening in applications. That way I can quickly open it. Let's say I wanted to do a couple of different things at the same time. So let's see here if I can think about how that would work. Stream Deck. So multi-action. Okay. So let's say I wanted to open Ecamm Live and go live, all in one thing. Okay. So multi-action. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Pull that out here. Okay. And I'm going to call this, let's see, Open Ecamm and go live. As bad as an idea as that sounds, okay? So first I want to open Ecamm. So now I can drag an action up here. So the first action would be I want to open up Ecamm. So let's go ahead and do that. Drag that open. So there's the open, and I'm going to go ahead and find Ecamm Live. So now I've got that set up. It's going to open Ecamm. And then let's go ahead and now I'm going to use the Ecamm action, and let's just say let's just play a video, something a little less dangerous. And I'm just going to pick a recent video right there. And now I've got myself a multi-action setup. It's going to open Ecamm and play a video. Okay, so actually let's go ahead and close Ecamm real quick. Right now, I'm going to close that. So Ecamm is closed, and I'm going to go ahead and push the button, the one that we talked about. This guy right here, I'm pushing it. I'm going to be pushing it right now on my actual Stream Deck in 3, 2, 1. I pushed it. Oh, Ecamm Live's popping up. Okay, and it should grab a video and play it, possibly. Okay, I don't see it. Maybe it doesn't play a video because it's not recording, but that's something you have to experiment with. Let's go ahead and do this again. Let's go ahead and just, I'll go live. I'll just because, and I'll just kill it right away. And this will actually show us how we can delete something. So we can just delete that step. And then here I'm actually going to go live instead. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close Ecamm. And now we're going to practice this multi-action step. Multi-action. And 3, 2, 1. Push the button. Ecamm Live pops up. And let's see if it will go live. That was the thought, at least. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be doing that. That's the first time I've ever tried playing with that. But that is at least the idea. I'd love to see that work. Let's see. How about it goes into screen share? Let's see. No, I mean, it shouldn't have had any problem doing that. So I don't know what's going on with that. It's software, so there could be bugs if people have never tried something before. So I'm sure they're always updating the software. Let's do one of my cool favorite things here. So I showed you, I think, some of the animations. Let's just show you how to do. Let's show you how to do an animation, which really makes the Stream Deck kind of come alive. Okay, so what you do here. Let's pick one. So I did like my YouTube one. It's got a fun animation. Let's make a new one here. So this is just system website. So I have a system right here, website. So I would take out a new thing. And what I would do is just go out to Google and do like YouTube icon animation. Right? And what you're looking for is like a GIF. Right? You're looking for a GIF. You can kind of see them doing different things here, and so you just find one that you like, and if you have the proper permissions and the proper copyrights, then you can just right-click on this, save image as, and let's just put it to my desktop here, like that, and then what I do is when I set from file, so instead of create a new icon, I'm going to set from file, and I'll go get that new GIF I just had, and now on my actual Stream Deck there is a little GIF playing. Just a kind of a cool thing that I came across, and it kind of just makes the whole machine kind of come alive. Let's talk about. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Let's talk about what we call a switch, right? So a multi-action switch, or even just a hotkey switch, really, okay? So you could say hotkey switch. This is kind of this idea of it's yeah, toggle between two key commands. So it's, hey, when I push this button, like, yeah, that will mute it, but what if I wanted to unmute it? So I could have two commands here, like, hey, this one will be the mute command, and then this will be the unmute command. But a lot of times it's a switch, and so you might as well have the same button. One would be the mute, and then the other one would be unmute. Okay, and so basically the hotkey switch lets you do two different actions, like an on-off action on the same button, preserving space. And it's just, there's my mute button, here's my unmute button, depends on what I'm at. And so basically you drag out a hotkey switch here, and you say, well, here's the icon, right? So here's the icon from, let's see, mute, unmute. So here I have a mute button, I have a mic on button. So I'm going to assume that the mic is on at first. So then I'm going to say mute. So they'll say that's my mute button. And I'll go get I need to go get the keystrokes, right? I was doing it for Zoom. So let's go. So it says it's Shift Command A. So let's go ahead and put hotkey 1 as Shift Command A. Okay. And so that would basically mute it. But what if I wanted to unmute it on the same one? I'm going to pick this other option. And it already kind of made it a little bit darker. You see that? It just kind of said, oh, now it's, you can leave it with the dark feature. You can barely see it there. Or you can set it from File and say, hey, I would like to actually do, let's see here, was it mic is on? So that will turn that on, and so that one is mute. This is going to be unmute. Okay, so I have mute and unmute, and in this one it's actually the same keystrokes, Command Shift A, just hitting that same thing back and forth. So in Zoom, for example, if I was to go to a new meeting, and I'm basically, here's my mute button. There it is. Mute, unmute, mute, unmute. That's pretty slick, right? You can see up here in the meeting, it's just running those commands. It's just running those hotkeys. You're gonna fall in love with using the Stream Deck. And if you are looking to purchase this, you can just get them on Amazon. They are 32 key is like $250. So Elgato Stream Deck right here. So you can see here, that's the 15 key. You could probably get away with that because they have the nested folders, right? I just wanted to go big or go home. So 32 key, that's what I got here just a couple days ago. I've been on this a week, and make this tutorial before I forgot what it was like not knowing how to do anything. It's pretty easy. It's pretty intuitive. Another cool thing that you should know is that there's this idea of exporting and importing profiles. Okay, like I don't know. I wouldn't want to give you all these. So some of these are like some of my private type, my Gmail, right? But so I won't be leaving a link to my, right now at least to my profile. But if I go to edit profiles here on the left, I can actually take a profile here, my default profile, and click on this little down arrow here, and I can export it. So if I did want to, create an info product or something, or a bonus, then you could export the keys. And I don't know if I doubt that it keeps a hold of all of the icons and animated GIFs and different things like that. It's probably just as basic as a mapping of hey, here's the position, and here is the action that, and the hotkeys that it does. So, but yeah, you can export that. And then if I wanted to then import one, I could import a profile, and I have one here on my desktop. And so if I did that, then it brings in a profile. And then you can switch profiles up here, back in the home page, okay? So Ecamm Live, profile 1, okay? So hopefully this is super helpful. Hey, if this has been helpful for you, please give me a like. If you liked more content like this, subscribe. I'm kind of a, ClickFunnels, ActiveCampaign, live streaming. I'm all over the place, unfortunately. I guess it's fortunate and unfortunate, but so yeah, I have a link. I'll put a link below if you want to get this through my link. I appreciate that. Let's keep going. Let me think if there's anything else. If you let's say you're never going to use OBS Studio here, then what you do is just kind of go here and then just uncheck that box. So just don't show me that anymore is kind of the idea, right? So let's go back to, this is actually the one, my default profile is the one I'm actually trying to set up. So yeah, let's go set up a little bit more Ecamm. That's what I've actually wanted to set up some more. So I'm going to get Ecamm Live up here. And let's say I want to cue a video, or let's say I am doing, I'm on a video here like this. Okay. So that's live stream. If I hit share screen right here on the button, it's going to switch that to what I'm doing right now. What we want to do, let's say we want to play a video file. Okay. So here I'm going to actually do that one. So now that's all queued up. It puts a little thumbnail right on the app. So now I can switch to play a video. Okay, so in this video I'm going to teach you how to live stream a previously recorded video, like an MP4. All right. Now let's do overlays. This is pretty cool. Let's say I wanted to do this is what I've actually really wanted to do, is make an overlay that says I'm taking your questions live, right? It's open phones this hour. Open phones, call 888-825-5225, okay? Let's say I've got that, but I only want to put that up there, on demand. I don't want it to be there all the time. So now I have this, it can show, and I'm going to put it as show in all scenes, okay? I'm going to hide it here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the overlay, show hide overlay. I'm going to drag this out, and I'm going to actually, look at that, open phones 888-825. So let's say I title this as open phones. Okay. And now, as I'm streaming, as this is going, I can push the open phones button and have that going. Isn't that slick? Okay. So that's the overlays. Really cool. Next scene. So let's try next scene. So I've got some scenes up here, and I'm going to be running that. I'm going to hit next scene, next scene, next scene, next scene, that kind of thing. Okay. Horrible. Look at that. You should have never saw that. All right, go ahead and share screen. Back to here now. And there's that picture in picture. So I don't think any of this is too hard. It's just kind of cool to know what it can do. Just got to set it up, get your, if you like these icons, great. If you want to use something a little more, customized to you, then you just do your own icon. And I didn't show you that when you go make an icon over here, create a new icon, when you pick something here, let's say you picked that, there's no real way to get this from the website to your Stream Deck. So basically you're just saving it, and then you just stick it in your Stream Deck, Stream Deck key folder. So I go pick here, Stream Deck icons, and then just say, open phones, like that. Okay. And then I got open phones, it's in my thing, and then I go back to the Stream Deck, and I go ahead and set the file, set from file, and I go like that, go open phones, and then there's my icon. Okay. So I think that's a pretty good run through. Very, very powerful. Very powerful. Love it. It's probably going to be one of your favorite purchases this year. Let me know if I didn't cover anything. Let me know if this was valuable for you. Hey, and also if you'd love to just practice your live streaming, I have a little group here. It's live streaming practice with James Hurst. It's just a way, test your equipment out, pick up trainings more like this here, get that confidence on camera, have people supporting you, practice going live here so that when you're doing it somewhere else, when it's a little bit more on the line, this is kind of just a safe place to learn and practice your live streaming. So I'd love to have you over there as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope again that this was valuable. Subscribe, leave a comment below if I missed anything. I think that should get you up and running. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.